Basically infatuated with the in-between, the ups, the downs, the curves and the rounds. I bring it to your city or your hometown. I go back in time when the feeling was fine, when funkin' was legal and it wasn't a crime. Party people lined up and down the way, a bigger celebration than your birthday. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt cool 'cause the funk was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt cool 'cause the funk was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. And I have seen the world pristine, funk you up in the bushes, funk you down in the trees. Now look around, all the frowns, the yellow, the white, the red and the brown. And keep in mind, it never costs a dime, 'cause funkin' is free, I remember the time. Now look today, the streets are gray, time to take it back to yesterday. Funkin' in the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funk was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funk was good. It was good in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood.
And we're live.
We're back.
Welcome to the Underdog Journey. I'm West. This guy's David. And between the two of us, we are funking up the neighborhood. That's how we do.
I'm really glad. I'm really glad they let us use that song.
Man, you know what? Every time I hear it, I'm like, I really like this song. Like, that's just a good song.
Yeah.
We gotta get Funkle Sam on as a guest sometime.
Yeah. I think Funkle Sam would make a very good guest.
Yeah.
So we actually, we got a little bit of good news. I was traveling around Massachusetts through Rhode Island and stuff this past week, and it was good to get out, good to see some people, and I met some really cool people. We'll talk about them later, but we got some news on the way back today that we have our guest for
next week.
We will be at the Green Dragon in Boston for the podcast going live. That will be on December 16th. It'll be Thursday next week. So make sure you guys, Wednesday you get online. Like, where are the best people in the world? Well, we're waiting until Thursday because that corresponds with the anniversary of the Boston Tea Party.
We'll be at the place.
So we have a guest.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, we're going to be at the place where they planned the Boston Tea Party on the anniversary of the Boston Tea Party. Yep. It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
Like, I can't believe we get to be there. That's so cool.
We have a guest, Josiah from the Boston Tea Party Ships and Museum.
Nice.
He'll be a virtual guest because they're holding that. This group is holding a virtual presentation and a Q&A session, and he's taking time out of his evening to come over and talk with us about the history and events around and the build-up and so on and so forth. So we'll be able to ask him a couple questions about the Boston Tea Party and the events and kind of get some stuff. And then there's a pretty cool museum up there, so we'll definitely want him to promote that because, I mean, come on, who doesn't like history? I mean, history's cool.
It's gonna be
kids.
Awesome.
All
show.
the cool kids like history.
The cool kids love history. It's true. Look at us. But no, the Green Dragon has actually been on my places to visit list for a long time, so I'm actually nerding out quite a lot that we get to be there. That's awesome. So
Apple, give me this thing here.
So apparently, Matt Harmon says we need to stop by the Coast Guard station to see if the Spencer is in. And Matt, I don't know who Spencer is, but we'll tell him you said hi. And Noah Leffingwell says good evening. So hey Noah, how's it going?
I would tell him to get back to work.
Noah, get back to
work and making pizzas right now.
You lazy.
Make me a pizza.
These Gen Zers, they just don't have the work ethic.
Yeah. Oh, actually, after he got his first paycheck, his work ethic kind of went up.
Well,
he was excited yesterday because he got called into work.
Yeah. Oh.
So
yeah.
He was like, I get more hours.
Look, Noah, I'm telling you, Noah. Listen to this. All the young people watching or listening, young people. I sound super old right now, but Noah, I'm telling you, all you need to do to own the world right now is show up and do a good job, because all these other people are involved in like this Great Resignation, or in other areas it's called the no work. It's like the anti-work movement. I think it's being called also.
Yeah.
But like, honestly, people who actually show up and do a good job, man, within a couple of years they're going to run the place. So Noah, honestly, just show up, do a good job, and that's all you need to do to run the place. It's awesome.
No, it's good stuff. There's Z people who have made a pizza he says there are 0 people in the building and haven't made a pizza in an hour.
Hey, you're still getting paid though. You're still getting paid though.
We're up here in New York. So that means it's either raining during the summer or it's snowing during the winter. And guess what? It's wintertime, so we're snowing up here.
Yep.
So shockingly, I always found that pizza places were busier with snowing. People are like, I don't want to go out.
Right.
Why not? Why would I go drive when I can make a 16 or 17-year-old kid drive his Honda Civic around and deliver me pizza and then complain about it being 45 minutes late?
Exactly. Look, if I could go back to late 2019, I would totally put money in DoorDash. Look, who knew they would explod so much?
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it now.
I wouldn't do it now. The market's in a weird place right now. What did you say?
Yeah, there are so many places now that are on. There are so many places now that are on the attack for those delivery places and the fees that they're taking out of restaurants.
Oh man, those fees.
Restaurants are struggling enough, and then they're getting hit with this. So
Those fees
Too
are
bad. So
steep.
what are you drinking tonight? Because I've seen that's not beer.
It's not beer. I'm actually going Scotch tonight. I'm going Scotchy Scotch. I'm drinking Oban, the Night's Watch. This is actually a single malt Scotch whiskey that was made specifically for their collaboration with Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So Oban,
the
if
Night's
anybody knows
Watch, yeah.
Scotch, Oban is a great Scotch. This is a really peaty, smoky Scotch, very tasty, and look, it'll warm you up on cold evenings. That's what it's here for.
Well, I actually toyed with the idea too. So I came prepared for the beer.
Yeah.
But I've got the bourbon and the Scotch right over there. So I've got my first bottle of Booker's over there.
You did well. You also Booker's that you got. That Booker's that'll warm you up. That is that's the cask strength. That
it's
you
the
got.
cask. Yeah, it's the cask.
You got to be careful drinking. That's
like
a sipping.
68% alcohol by volume. It's a potent one. But I'm going a little easier tonight. I've got myself a grapefruit Hefeweizen.
Nice. I love those.
For some reason, I love a good grapefruit Hefeweizen.
Well, I can't imagine why.
Got myself a wheat beer.
Wheat
beer.
Now,
we talked about the Potosi there before. A wheat. I say Coup Whip. Coup Whip. Drowned Lands. It's a New York beer. It's only 4.8 wheat beer. A wheat beer. And then I grabbed myself another Warhorse American Light Lager. Because
Nice.
I mean, pretty good beer. And I think those three will do it for me tonight. So nothing too complicated on the drinking palate this evening.
No, those sound tasty.
I guess the most complex is going to be the grapefruit Hefeweizen, which we're going to go ahead and just get started with right now.
Yeah, those sound really good. A grapefruit Hefeweizen.
Yeah, they are good.
So also, while you're pouring that, before we get started, I want to thank Stevie Evans from Big Bentley's Pet Supply Company. Actually sent me a bottle of his pet stain remover. This is it's bioenzymatic, so there's like no chemicals, no bleach, anything on this. I'm going to go around and I'm going to test this on. So we have a couple different kinds of carpet in my house. We have an almost white carpet, and we have an almost black, like dark charcoal gray carpet. So I'm going to go and terrorize my wife and spray this on our different colors of carpet and see what happens. If it messes it up, it won't though. There's like no weird chemicals in this. This is great. So Stevie was telling us all about it, and I can't wait to try this out. Hopefully I don't actually need to with my dog, but I want to test this. So Stevie, if you're watching, thank you, man. His e-com website is not up yet, but if you go to Facebook, I'll just go ahead and share this here. If you go to Facebook, that's not right. There we go. Look for Big Bentley's Pet Supply Company, or Pet Supply, and it'll give all the information, where it's available, what you can use it for, all the details. And as soon as he gets his website up and running, where you can buy it online, he'll be there waiting for you. So, Stevie, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, they're very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool to see that thing coming around.
Yeah, I mean, he is really hustling. Like, we had him on as a guest a few weeks ago, and he has bottles of these things in retail locations, multiple retail locations. And even before he has his e-com site up, which is usually reversed these days from how normal people do it. So he is really putting in the legwork. I'm impressed.
Yeah, he's hustling. I mean, that's what you got to do. You have to hustle. You have to bust it.
Exactly. Exactly.
He is the marketing. He is the sales. He is the delivery. He is the manufacturing. I mean, he's got a lot on his plate, but he's doing it.
He is. And
not.
Good.
Oh, we have a hi David and West from Hester Sawyer's on here.
Yeah, we have Matt Harmon leaving weird Wikipedia links. Hester Sawyer's. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. So.
Yeah. I think the Wikipedia link is to the boat, the Spencer, the USS Spencer or USC, I don't know, whatever. The HMS, her Majesty, or RMS, was that Royal Majesty Royal Mail Service? I don't know, whatever it stands for. The Spencer. So he served aboard he served aboard the USS Spencer Gifts.
I would go on that ship. That sounds like a good one. Here's one thing that I really should look up, and you may know this, and I should not admit this publicly because I do pride myself on being quite a Star Trek nerd. Okay, if in the future, when the Star Trek Federation of Planets, United Federation of Planets, is in place, right? Why do they call Federation ships USS ship's name? Because doesn't USS stand for United States Ship?
That's a great question. I don't know.
So wouldn't it be the United Federation of Planets ship, not the United States Ship Enterprise? I'm just saying.
That's great.
Look,
Yeah.
maybe the Coast Guard runs
This is a great question for Google.
Maybe the Coast Guard runs the Federation in the future. Matt, I blame you. All right, so
I blame Matt for a lot, and really, United Spaceship is what it stands for.
United
Star Trek.
Spaceship. That's a cop out. Look,
United Spaceship. I believe Gene Roddenberry. You could have done better.
You know what? You don't often hear those words, but I actually totally agree in this case. Gene Roddenberry, you let that one.
You let that one slip.
You let that one slip.
Bruce Banner.
All right. So on the news docket.
Where were we?
Who knows? This is one of our tangents. I actually brought it up this time, so it's my fault. So we actually have some interesting news over the last week. Some kind of interesting stuff's been happening. In case some of you haven't heard,
are you going to talk about that idiot? We're
going to talk about the situation. So let's go ahead and watch the video where it happens.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and get this going.
You guys are going to love this.
So I'll stop periodically. We can leave our commentary here.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. I come to you with not great news. The market has changed, as you know, and we have to move with it in order to survive so that hopefully we can continue to thrive and deliver on a mission. This isn't news that you're going to want to hear, but ultimately
not a good sign.
It was my decision, and I wanted you to hear from me. It's been a really, really challenging decision to make. This is the second time in my career I'm doing this, and I do not want to do this.
So I have to stop here real quick. There's a lot of me's and I's happening right here, and you can tell this guy is... he's got to be a delight in a conversation. A lot of me's and I's happening right here for the news he's about to drop.
Yeah.
The last time I did it, I cried.
Oh, poor baby. I feel terrible for him.
This time I hope to be stronger. But
please be strong. Please. I feel for this guy. My heart is breaking for him.
Please be strong for me.
Yes.
Because I want you to be strong.
My heart's breaking for him.
We are laying off about 15% of the company for a number of reasons. The market, efficiency, and performances, and productivity. If you're on this call, you are part of the unlucky group.
Fuck you, dude.
That is being laid off.
That wasn't me, by the way. That was the commentary of the person recording this. So in case you didn't catch this, he just laid off 900 workers. 900 workers on a one-way Zoom call. And the reasons he gave leading up to it were market changes and performance, essentially.
Yeah.
Even though, look, I can bring up the stats later. In the 18 months leading up to this point, they were at record high numbers. This company was at record high numbers leading into this. So, I mean, but his heart is breaking for these.
I'm going to guess this announcement because I'm looking at their stock track right now.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that this announcement came out on Friday, Friday, December 3rd, based upon the cliff.
Was there a pretty big dip?
That their stock, yeah. I mean, they've been trending a little down, not so much that you had to do dramatic, but Thursday, December 2nd, it closed at $3.54.
Okay.
$3.28 was Friday. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're talking $3, between $3 and $4
Yeah.
That's so just in the past month they've lost just under 14%.
Yeah.
Just under 14%. So 5 days they've lost 3.41%, which that doesn't stretch back. So really you need to go 7 days. Unfortunately, my ticker doesn't have it broken down that way.
Yeah. So everybody, this is Vishal Garg, the CEO of Better.com. They're an online mortgage company. So
Your employment
Okay,
here is terminated.
I don't know what this must have been their IP. I don't know what this is. So I'm looking here back over the past year.
Yep.
And they clipped $61, $62 somewhere in that ballpark. 61 and a half, 61.56. Okay. So on June 28th, it went from $44.28 to $4.11. So I don't know what happened there, but something happened.
yeah.
And
Well, they haven't gone public yet.
Somebody's lost a lot of money, and somebody made a lot of money on that.
Well, so we're going to cover some of that here really soon. Somebody made a lot of money on this call. I have a feeling it's not the 900 people he just laid off. We're going to talk about that very, very soon, though.
Yeah. And, just before we go any further, I know I've interrupted here already, but just before we go any further, for anyone out there who's thinking about having this call or that call, and it's not going to be good, remember, every one of you guys right there out there watching this, the millions of you guys that are watching this right now, and we're not laying any of you off. You can record everything we say and publish it.
Yes.
It literally warns me on every call we do that we have devices that can record or broadcast this.
Yeah.
So when you're doing a private webinar or a private Zoom or Skype or whatever, it's not private.
Nothing is
never
private.
Think of it that way.
Yeah, nothing is. And look, we can go into all the areas where he messed up and could have done this better. But point being, when you dig into all the details, it just keeps getting worse for this guy. And not in ways that make you feel bad for him.
It's real easy to make a big bad business decision.
Ooh, I have a feeling this company is going to feel this guy's impact.
I don't think it's going to end well.
Yeah.
What does this mean for what's next? You're going to get an email from HR, askhr@better.com, to your personal email address regarding the details of your severance and your benefits. For all U.S. employees, we're providing 4 weeks of severance, 1 month of full benefits.
So I will end it there. But here's the thing. They're given 4 weeks of severance. Why couldn't he have given this news after Christmas? Why are you going to drop this on 900 people right before Christmas?
Yeah.
And just ruin? Look, there's so many better ways he could have done this. So this is Vishal Garg, the CEO of Better.com. And so here's an article from Forbes that talks about the announcement and how they just did a terrible job. And here's the funny thing. The CEO of unicorn mortgage lender startup Better.com, look, they have a ton of employees. They just fired 900 people. That's only, what do you say, 14%? They're not a startup anymore. They're gigantic. They just received $750 million cash infusion on a $7 billion valuation. One, this is hardly a tiny little mom and pop startup. Two, look, I'll admit, maybe they received this cash infusion with the contingency of trimming some fat. That could totally be possible if their investors deemed it to be so. However, the way he did it was just so poorly executed. In fact, here's something else from CNN Business. Shortly after this happened, 3 of their executives resigned over how bad it is. And here are the executives that resigned. I'm not going to try and pronounce the names. I'm terrible with this. But one, their head of public relations. 2, another head of public relations.
Oh, you're damn right. You're damn right.
And 3, their VP of communications resigned.
Oh yeah, these are the people that are going to have it just handed to them hand over fist.
Right. Come on, man.
And even worse, it's the people on the street. It's the other 900 people that are out there that are brokers and admins to them, and the admins are going to be just swamped with. Well, I'll tell you what, I love this. This is ad placement at its best. Look what's on the screen.
LendingTree.
LendingTree.com mortgage.
Yep.
The highlighted thing, mortgage, LendingTree right there.
Well, then there's Citibank doing the same thing.
This is taking advantage of a dumb situation right
now. It sure is. But look.
So I'll give props to both LendingTree and Citi for being on this page.
Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, they knew exactly what they were doing. This is well placed. I agree. But 3 of their public relations executives resigned over this. And here's
because they have to answer for it. They're the ones who have to. This guy's going to disappear. He's going to release a statement, but those are the guys who have to continually be in communication. And
right, exactly. And here's where a lot of the really damning evidence is coming. Here's an article from the Daily Beast that talks about this guy. It's going to make me. It didn't do this before.
It's going to make you do a thing. Oh, yeah.
It's going to make me do a thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing political on this page.
Nothing political. Let me just try it. It keeps doing this. It wasn't doing this before. But basically, if Daily Beast, you jerk.
See, what cracks me up, and this is something, excuse me, not just the Daily Beast. There's a lot of places out there. Wall Street Journal does it too. It'll give you the first snippet of something and a link to it. Like Yahoo will link to it, Google will link to it, and you'll get about 3-4 sentences in, and then it'll flash over and say, "Oh, if you want to read the rest of this, you got to subscribe."
Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna go to a news outlet, an actual news outlet, not somebody in a money grab.
Right.
And just go read it over there. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Exactly. Oh man, it's not gonna let me get there. I was reading this article before, and maybe it cut me off because I saw it too many times.
One of the things you can do. This is a great tech tip right here.
Okay.
One of the things you can do is as you load the page, you'll see it should have at the top the article and who the author was. And you steal that, copy it in, put it in there, and then you'll find multiple links in your Google search that'll give you who it was and give you where else you can go to read that article.
All right. Well, look, I'll just improvise with what we're seeing here.
We'll paraphrase.
For Pete's sake. So, basically, what happened was there is a lot of terrible information about this guy online. Last year, 2020. The company was actually doing so well. The executives and the investors and the board decided to give him a bonus. And considering they didn't want him to take more stock that he'd have to either wait to get vested, or if they gave it to him fully vested, he'd go turn around and sell it, it would dilute the stock. They decided to give him his bonus in cash. His cash bonus on top of his normal equity and salary was $25 million in 2020. Cash. So this guy, I feel terrible for the heart-wrenching decision he had to make here by trimming the fat. On top of that, apparently it was a really toxic environment. Search the articles online. There were several company-wide emails that he wrote that leaked out. One of them, he mentioned how company-wide email, by the way, how all the employees were dolphins. They were dolphins, and you know what happens to dolphins? They get trapped in nets and eaten by sharks. You got to stop that. Stop your behavior. They're embarrassing him. I mean, this guy. Okay. It's just super toxic workplace.
Ran the numbers real quick.
Yes.
Yeah, ran the numbers real quick. That's $27,777 per person of those 900 people that just got laid off in his bonus.
In his bonus. That's not even his salary or his equity.
Yeah.
So
Give your
look,
bonus back, dude. Keep those people on, and then do this in January.
look. The thing is, he did this.
Idiot. Remember, I opened this with, "Hey, are we going to talk about that idiot? That guy's an idiot."
He is.
Proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
Is he gave an ammunition for people like us to call him an idiot?
Yeah, and there were so many better ways that he could have executed this, and we never would have heard about it. So many better ways. I'll tell you the number one way.
Lay off. It's a fact of life.
The number one way he could have done this. Wait till December 26th. Wait till January 1st. Guess what? This would be old news. Well, it would be new news then, but we wouldn't have heard about it because the timing was so poor. 2, in this Zoom call, guess what? Don't make it all about me and I. And the last time I had to do this, it hurts me so much. No, nobody wants to hear that.
Bad.
Nobody feels bad for you.
My super yacht. Oh.
Exactly.
And you can notice that he's in a very blank room.
Yeah.
You can tell it's not his office.
No, this is not his office.
He went somewhere that specifically was set and made to look, I think the right word is maybe austere.
Right.
So that it wasn't it wasn't, because I guarantee the guy sitting by an oak desk, behind an oak desk most of the time. Or
Guaranteed. So he's also in the process of being sued by an old...
a desk made of the flesh of all the people he's laid off.
Well, he's also involved in a lawsuit. He's being sued right now by a previous business owner. A business owner that they used to be best friends. This other guy actually spoke at his wedding. This other guy is claiming that this person took $3 million from their joint business venture to start Better.com. And if this is true, guess what? This other guy is going to have a lot of money coming his way. And this guy's response online, he actually posted this. No, I'm sorry, he didn't post it. It was an email that got posted online. He said he would nail the guy to the wall and burn him alive. Like, this guy, Vishal Garg, is not a nice person. So here's his LinkedIn profile. And actually, the funny thing, earlier this morning, he actually changed it since then. It was his headline was "Founder and CEO Better.com, we're hiring." Clearly, he took off the "we're hiring" part, but it was hilarious. I wish it were still on there because it was so funny. And if you go to Better.com, it tells a little bit about the company, a little interesting stuff. Let's see. Let's see what jobs they have available for Better.com. Let's see. They get quite a few job openings. They have, I think they have 35 job openings in total. And I'm curious how many of these job openings are net new versus people who were either laid off, 37, or were either laid off, or people who were still with the company, but when they heard about this, they hightailed it out of there. Because I would not want to be a part of this company.
That's what I'm doing. If somebody like that comes through and I work for, I don't care what company it is, and they lay 900 people off
in that way,
respectfully like that,
yeah,
I'm gone.
Exactly.
I'm gone.
Exactly. So Better.com, you should be doing better.
Basically, what we're going to tell you, this is good financial advice. Don't finance your mortgage through them.
Do not look. There's so many. Hey, who could we have here that could possibly give you better mortgage options?
Well, there's Huntington right there.
Huntington.
There's Huntington. Huntington is an excellent mortgage because they're one of the people that don't sell their mortgages, actually. So all these other ones, they'll actually bundle mortgages and sell it off. So they'll only service mortgages sometimes for 1 month or 3 months, and then it's gone. It belongs to somebody else.
Yeah.
Where Huntington keeps them. You have a mortgage with them, they keep that mortgage.
There you go. So there's also here on the same article on CNN Business, Lending Tree and Citi. So a lot of other options. Yeah. Personally, look, I don't say this often about a company.
Guaranteed rate.
I don't say this often about a company, but I do not wish good things for Better.com as long as Vishal Garg is the CEO.
I wish for all the employees to get out and find other jobs elsewhere and let the place just die off and be done. And just when you just, why'd you guys all leave me? Well, we've had to make this decision in the past, and man, it just really hurt us to have to make it again. But bye.
Exactly.
Terminated effective immediately, which is what he said.
Exactly.
Man, that's
So
I tell my son all the time, don't do dumb stuff.
yeah, exactly. So look, when it comes to finding new jobs, we do have some interesting stuff to cover today. We have 4 business ideas that anybody can start in 2020. Actually, business ideas that I think are going to excel in 2020.
I hope not, because this is 2021, damn near
I'm sorry,
2022.
2022. Holy moly, time gets away from you. 2020, 2022. Yes, if they would excel in
Please
2020,
do not make me redo 2020. I do not want to. You and I both went through a buttload of stuff in 2020. I do not want to do it again.
well, you know what they say, hindsight is 2020.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
we have
we
a
got some live studio audience.
live studio audience with us today. Hey,
Wait,
What's happening, little guy? Ooh, what we got here? Oh, is that a vinegaroon?
No, it's an alien.
it's an alien he
Oh,
drew.
well. So when I talk about demon spiders and I can't tell the difference between his demon spiders and an alien, that should tell everybody out there.
This is
Those
like
are not nice.
this thing with the red and the yellow and red and green lump. Well, that's the blast.
So it's a
So-
Christmas alien.
Well, that's the blaster he's
So
showing.
basically,
Yeah,
it's a Doctor Who
there-
character.
There's a red button to turn it off and a green button to turn it on.
Wow, that's a cool.
And,
That's a cool
and it
monster.
has tentacles, something that comes out of its body, and a pincher.
That's incredible.
Oh,
I
and
love it.
Oh, and a pincher.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's
Pinch-
cool. It's
pincher,
good. You can have him as a
thing
pet.
coming out, and a tentacle, and a blaster.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and
Now we got a blaster.
And there's a blaster, a tentacle, and a pincher,
and there's a bunch of eyes.
and a bunch
All
of
right,
eyes.
Hagrid.
All right, buddy.
We got little Hagrid over here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He would love that.
Yeah, Gookie, get over here.
All right. Hey, come here, Catherine. Say goodnight.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. All right. Good night, you guys. Oh, and they're tackling each other going up the stairs. Okay.
That makes it safer.
It does. You know what? Kids bounce. It's fine. They'll be good.
It's all good.
So, yes. So
what we're talking about, we were done talking about the idiot. We moved on to 4 businesses that you could open in not 2020, but 2022.
yeah, and well, I mean, you
That's
could have
where
started them in 2020, but they're going to excel in 2022, and I'll tell you why. The adoption of technology because of the events of 2020. Because look, 2020 it changed everything. Look, more people are working from home. More people are using technologies online they never even considered in 2019. You're drinking beer online. I'm not sure what's happening here.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I know what to do with my hands.
That's a Ricky Bobby reference in case nobody got that. I thought it'd look cool on camera. And guess what? I did. It did. It was great.
That was amazing,
That was-
David. You should.
That was good entertainment right there.
That was high quality,
So what-
timely entertainment is what that was.
Our producers, which we don't have, love it.
Exactly.
All of our producers agree. We're the best show out there.
All of our
We don't have
producers that look, maybe that's one of the jobs that somebody could go for in 2022.
Yeah.
Just saying. So,
Produce the #1 podcast show out there in the world today.
right. And so these
That's
four
us, by the way.
so these 4 business ideas are really based around how 2020 changed things. And they're in areas that technically existed before 2020, but the adoption of technology, so many people working from home, so many things all the dominoes weren't lined up the right way. But guess what? They are now. A lot of businesses, a lot of opportunities that really weren't there before are going to be in high demand moving forward. Guaranteed. Especially now with all the different variants and whatnot, and they're saying things aren't, parts of Europe are talking about more lockdowns. I mean, it's just the world we live in now. So I think there's things that we at least need to consider, especially for people who don't want to be part of that big, great resignation or the anti-work movement. You actually want to do stuff, but you're not sure what, right? Like you want to start a business of your own. Where do you begin? Well, here are some things that you can consider. At least it puts you in the right direction, right? So
Okay.
the first one, there are a lot of people who are stuck in their house and have been for a long time, and they're looking at the same four walls all the time. The same stuff, the same four walls. They're looking at, spare bedrooms or garages or basements or attics that are full of just junk that they don't have the time or the energy to get rid of. Guess what? You could be a reseller of somebody else's stuff. And that sounds ridiculous. It does. It totally sounds ridiculous. But think of all the people with all this junk that they're looking at every single day that they just don't have the time or energy to get rid of. My wife talks about every once in a while having a garage sale. I don't care. I'd rather give this stuff away than sit outside all day trying to sell this junk to somebody who wants to haggle over 25 cents. I don't care. I'll give you 25 cents to take it away. But guess what? If there's a reseller, that's their job, is to get rid of stuff for you.
Selling all the stuff out of West's house. Very cheap.
Oh, believe me, I've had this conversation. I've threatened to go through my house with a snow shovel and a garbage can because there's so much stuff. I have two small kids. You saw them. So much stuff here. It's ridiculous. So
I think you need a drum set.
I think if somebody tried to give me a drum set,
kids need a drum set.
If somebody tried to give me a drum set, I would unfriend them immediately.
We may have to test this theory.
But here's the thing. Look, all you need to learn how to use eBay, Craigslist, that sort of thing. And all you need to even begin, find some friends and family who just got junk they want to get rid of. Because I promise you, a lot of people with junk in the trunk they're trying to get rid of. And from there, it just grows. And this is a viable business idea. Don't undersell this idea. But number two is one that is near and dear to our heart, David. Podcasting. Not what you're thinking, though. Maybe not what most people are thinking.
I was thinking underwater basket weaving.
That could work.
I mean, underwater basket weaving. I mean, what's better than that? I don't know.
I
guess podcasting, yeah.
Every time I go swimming, I think, you know what? I wish I had a basket in this pool.
Yeah, like, darn. As I was swimming under this water, I didn't accomplish anything. I swam from one end of the pool to the other end of the pool. What did I get done? Nothing.
Exactly.
I could have spent my time more wisely
weaving a basket while you're swimming. And, it would also increase drag. It's actually a better workout. So, there you go.
Longenberger, eat your heart out.
Actually, Longenberger's not in business anymore. Hence why they can barely give their building away. But podcasting, but not the way you're thinking. So a lot of people think, okay, I'll start a podcast and we'll monetize. And you got to build an audience. And it takes time. You and I know this firsthand. It takes time to build an audience. Yeah. It takes time to get to a place where you can monetize. I mean, it's a time-consuming, hard process. But here's the thing.
Launch on YouTube. Don't launch on Facebook.
But here's the thing.
If you want looking to monetize, go over to YouTube.
But here's the thing. A lot of people and a lot of companies, actually, are starting podcasts. And they're starting video channels, right?
Yeah.
And what do we always talk about that we need? A producer, an editor. Because a lot of people, they want to talk in front of a camera, or they want to produce something that gets posted as a podcast or a video. And again, there's businesses that do this for intranet purposes. They'll have a weekly or monthly podcast to all their employees, or a video that they broadcast to all their employees. Guess what they don't have? In most cases, they don't have an editor. They don't have a producer who knows how this stuff works.
There's a reason that we do all of our shows live. And that biggest reason is neither one of us want to spend time editing.
Because it's not hard. It's just a time-consuming process.
It is time-consuming. Now, I was talking with guys this past week. I was out in, I'll call it southern Massachusetts. Not quite over to Cape Cod, but basically Rhode Island light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, over in that kind of area. And I'm talking with a group, and I was talking to them about this podcast. I said, we're a lot different. There's not a lot of live podcasters out there that aren't. There are a couple of them that'll do some stuff, but then they'll do some minor editing. They'll have the live conversation, but then they edit it out.
Yeah.
Where we are, we're screwed out.
Yes, we are.
There's a bit of a difference. Is if we make a mistake, it's done.
We
It's
just keep
gone.
going.
So most people won't risk that. We would much rather risk that than spend hours editing, because it's no joke. So one of the guys, who was I talking to, and they came up, and I'm trying to remember who it was.
Joe Rogan.
They said that they no. Click. Anybody got the counter? Anybody got the counter? It's been a couple weeks since we've mentioned Joe Rogan. I knew it wasn't going to make it through tonight. I had an over under. I have an over under number of how many times he's going to bring up Joe Rogan. But I knew he was going. I knew he was going to crack the Joe Rogan egg this week.
There you go.
And there it goes.
I had to. And
But
Shannon
I
Black
was
says
talking to
editing
him,
sucks, by the
and
way.
they said there's. Go ahead.
Shannon Black says editing sucks, by the way.
Yes. Yeah. Well, there's a great example. So all of Shannon's videos, all of them, and just like most people, those things are edited, highly edited, and it takes a lot of time. And I think he does a lot of it from his phone, even, and that would.
Oh yeah, look,
No
that's
way.
why Shannon Black looks so great on his YouTube channel, Real Life Outdoors
Yeah.
Shannon Black, because he's highly edited. It's all photoshopped. He actually looks like a 12-year-old British girl. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm just saying. Look, editing sucks.
See, and this goes back to that when one of us says something. When one of us says something like that, there's no covering it up. We just got to keep
We
right
just
on
keep
trucking.
moving.
So when you're selecting it, you need to think about it. And I'll tell you, if you actually should put the time in to learn quality editing, you've got room. You've got room to make your own podcast. Not only make your own podcast, but provide editing market
Right.
for others. And like Wes said, there's a lot of businesses that are starting podcasts and training videos and all these other little things that you can do. Now Wes sucks. He says. So all these little things that you can do for these businesses, now you can provide a service to them inside of the wheelhouse that you've built for yourself.
Right, exactly. And these are skills that you can take any place in the world, right? Because it's not just podcasters. Again, businesses are producing for their own intranets video and audio series. I mean, these are things that even if companies don't think they want, once they hear about it, once they see what other companies are doing, they really want it. And these are things that you could then move into a more professional realm with YouTube channels. You can go corporate. You can stay private. You can go to smaller YouTubers or podcasters. I mean, these are things that the bigger a creator gets, the less they want to do this day-to-day editing and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's going to reach a point. It's going to reach a point, David, where we actually have to hire somebody. Because it's not just even for us, it's not just about editing. It could be producing. It could be switching from camera to camera. It could be, hey, looking things up online. You know, again, if you ever watch Joe Rogan, there you go. That's for you, David. If you ever watch one of Joe Rogan's videos, not just listen to his podcast, he's always talking to his producer, Jamie. Hey, look this up. Hey, put that up on the screen so I can see it. And he's the same guy. He's also switching between cameras, going back and forth. They probably also have an editor on the back end who edits out all the ums and ahs.
You could be the next Snurdly.
You could be Mr. Snurdly. Which, it's funny, when you hear the name Snurdly and you've heard it for so many years, and then you actually find out what Mr. Snurdly looks like, you're like, oh. He's actually very intimidating. He does not look like a Snurdly at all.
Yes.
So that's number two. Job number three, that is going to be in high demand in 2022 and going forward, is a community or event manager. Because just like podcasting, okay, companies and people who are starting a YouTube channel or a podcast or influencers, they are building communities. It's what they're doing. They're building. I'm in marketing, at least, and part of marketing is creating a line of communications, creating a conversation, and maintaining that line of communication. Maintaining that conversation. It really relies on a person who is the voice of that organization, a voice of that influencer, a voice of that, whoever it might be. And part of that it involves arranging get-togethers. Part of it involves putting certain communications on different websites, different social platforms. Because look, as much as you might like, I don't know, Taylor Swift, to pick a name out
Or
of
Joe
random,
Rogan.
as much as you might like Joe Rogan himself isn't posting on Joe Blow's Facebook page about an upcoming show he has coming up. No, a community organizer, a community manager, is doing this for him. He has a community. I promise you, I don't know who it is, but I promise you, Joe Rogan has a community and events manager who manages all of these things and coordinates all of these things with his schedule and his people's schedule and the communications with probably a PR agency to align all of this stuff. And what makes you think you're qualified to do this? Well, just about anything, because this doesn't necessarily require a degree. It doesn't require, a Harvard education. No, as long as you know social media and you know how to write an email, guess what? You can be a community and events manager. All you need to do is put yourself out there, and the first couple clients, I would say do it for free. Step up, find your favorite celebrity, find your favorite up-and-coming celebrity who probably does do a lot of this stuff themselves, and say, hey, would you mind if I did this for you? Would you mind? And if you don't like my work, you don't got to pay me anything. You didn't lose anything. And manage their community and event management. That was redundant, but you know what I mean. So, and you just go up from there. This is something that the more companies, influencers, and creators, the more they go online, the more they're going to need this service. And 2020 really, really kicked that into high gear. So I promise you, that's going to be a big one moving forward. Especially, again, the world's not going back to the way it used to be. It's not. It's only getting more and more ingrained into the digital world. Talk to Mark Zuckerberg, we're all going to be living in the metaverse very soon. So, I mean, this line of work is going to be in very high demand. Exactly. Let me sip my bourbon.
I had to force myself not to blink during that.
It's harder when you're sipping bourbon and it's hitting the back of your throat.
Yeah, it hits the right spot. You got to chew it up first, get it all coated.
It's true. It's true. You gotta. It's all about coating the palate. So,
Yep.
Number 4, and this is a good one. And this is a good one. And there's a little bit more of a learning curve on this one, but this is one where there's a ton of money, so much money. And I've actually tried talking you into this, and I still hold that we can do this. Building an online course. Now, if you have a specific skill set, if you have a specific ability that you think could be
I don't
high
have
demand.
money, but what I do have is a particular set of skills.
Exactly. If you're
that make
Liam
me a
Neeson,
nightmare for people like you.
if you're Liam Neeson and or you anticipate kidnapping his daughter, this could be for you.
You got to know this.
But building an online course, it doesn't just have to be for your skill set. It doesn't have to be for just your specialty. Building an online course could be for other businesses. Like we said, influencers, people who are writing a book and they want to get information about their book out there. Guess what? An online course. And here's the thing. People at companies, influencers, people who actually have other priorities throughout the day, they don't have the time or the energy, frankly, to not only develop an online course, but then to master the platforms and the technology involved in having an online course.
Yeah.
And that's where you come into play. Create an online course for an author, an up-and-coming author who wants the information about their book to be out there. Find a business who is trying to sell a product or service. Create an online course. Find an influencer or a creator online who wants an online course. They don't want to do it themselves. You think a Logan Paul wants to create an online course, or you think he's actually creating his own?
Who's Logan Paul?
He's one of those. He's like a boxer. He's an online influencer. He's always trying to sell cryptocurrency these days. He's a bajillionaire from his YouTube videos. But when he does all this stuff, do you think he's actually mastering these platforms himself? No, he hires somebody to do it. Most of these people don't know how to create an online course. They hire somebody to do it. And in some cases, they'll hire an agency.
this is nothing as far as that aspect of the world goes. This is nothing new. You know,
Right.
there is let's say, and we're going to switch over kind of the business management roles of things for just real quick. I know we spend a lot of time in marketing and the advertising world and sales and stuff, but the business management part of it is when you run your business, you need to decide who you're going to be. If you run a business and you decide that you want to manage it,
Mm-hmm.
and that you can manage this many people. I don't want to call it micromanaging because it's not necessarily micromanaging, but you don't have the ability to let go. You need to know what all is happening.
Right.
Then you can do very good up to this point. Basically, the max number of people that you can, the max number of people, clients, business size, and operations that you can personally manage.
But it limits your ability to scale. That's where you're going.
To scale, exactly. Or there's people that's like me, and I say, all right, I want you in charge of that team, and you in charge of that team, and you in charge of this team, you in charge of that team. You all talk to me. So all I've got to manage, I can have thousands and thousands of people out there working, and all I've got to worry about is 5. And I trust them to do what they're supposed to be doing. So it's you create yourself. What you're doing in this scenario is you're creating yourself to be that person that they're trusting. You're not going after the first type of manager because that manager is not going to turn it over to you. You're looking for somebody who says, I want this publicity. I want this marketing. I want this thing. I don't want to do it.
Right.
I want to hire the person to do it. I want to hire the person who knows what they're doing.
Right.
You hear us will fire off, well, we want to do SEO and all these other acronyms, and I don't need to know what all those are. I need to know that you know what all of that is and how to handle it. Go do it.
Oh, exactly. And look, and here's the funny thing, right? You and I've been guilty of this myself in the past. You often hear employees, and I use that word appropriately here. You often hear employees within companies complaining that their boss has no idea what they do or how hard it is or how they do it. Well, you just nailed it, David, because it's not your boss's job to know how to do your job. It's your boss's job to know how to manage you to do your job properly.
Yep.
Look, you were
it's
hired.
my responsibility as the boss.
Yes.
To know the people I've put in place.
Yes.
Know what they're doing.
Yes.
Are meeting the goals and are adhering to my level of ethic responses.
Right.
So, there's no sideways throws. There's no under the table work. It's all above board, and we can open it up at any time, and anybody can look at it and go, yep, there's absolutely nothing shady going on whatsoever.
If you were hired if you're working at a company, you were hired there because you're great at what you do, I assume.
Yep.
And you are there because you are the expert at what you do. If your boss were the expert at what you do, guess what? Your boss might be doing what you do. But they're not.
And he'd have a boss who doesn't know what he does, but knows how to manage, 15 of you.
Right. So here's the thing. All 4 of these business ideas we just mentioned are specifically aimed at people who either don't have the time or the energy to do these sort of more day-to-day processes, or they're aimed at companies or in individuals who don't excel in those areas, and they need an expert. Yeah. And that's where I'd rather be. I would rather be with somebody who, exactly. Because what that does is it shows that they're going to be successful. The company or person who hires you because you're the expert and they're not, that's how you know they're going to excel. The best person to work for is somebody who knows they're surrounding themselves with people who are more talented in specific areas than they are. I would rather... What's
the old saying? If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Exactly. Look, and that's the thing. When you're in the right room, you know it. Because not one person is the smartest in the room, but each one excels in other areas. You feed off of each other. You grow from each other. Nobody has to be the smartest in the room. In fact, if there is a smartest in the room, if they're still there, guess what? Most people probably hate them.
Yeah. they may be the smartest, but they're missing they're missing the point. If everybody in that room knows they're the smartest person, it's okay to walk through and know that you know more than everybody else in the room about a topic. But
Right.
It's also just as important to know that those people probably know a ton of things that you just aren't. Let's see. I took on a role a couple years ago as a secretary. Wes, you know this.
Oh boy.
As a secretary of an
You
organization.
did a fine job as that
you,
secretary. You did a good job.
Right
Don't
now,
don't undersell yourself.
This is how people build your confidence. It's not for me. It just is not for me. There's just certain things you're not suited for, and that's for me. That was the type of role. So a treasurer or secretary of an organization. A financial officer or something like that in an organization. No, I'm good. I'm out. I'll go do executive stuff. I'm all over it all day long. But like CFOs and secretaries of organizations, they can keep all that. I'm good.
Well, and that's
But, so you found something you've excelled at.
Yeah.
And the only reason we're bringing this up, the two different styles, is to make sure when you go in, you need to know where to spend your resources because you're trying to pull clients in. And you meet somebody who goes, yeah, I'll do this, and my people do this. I know what they're doing all the time. Well, thank you very much for your time. I'll follow up with you in 2 weeks, and just delete their contact information. Just delete it.
Yep. You're right.
Because A, they're most likely not going to do any business with you. B, if they do, you think they're going to treat you any different than everybody else, they're going to be over your shoulder the whole time, and you're going to go nuts.
Right. And well, here's the thing. So when it comes to, we should do a whole show on this. They're basically two different management. They're basically two different management styles. There is the micromanager and there's the delegator. And often people have a balance of the two to some degree, more so than others.
Yep.
But I can tell you firsthand, after working under an extreme micromanager, you're ready to jump out of a window to get away from that person. At the same time, if you're under an extreme delegator, somebody who you never see, who you don't even know if they've seen any of your work that you've done since you've been with the company, that can be also equally as frustrating because you don't learn, you can't grow.
Yeah, you can lose a lot of motivation on that.
Mm-hmm.
You can lose a lot of motivation because you don't have somebody sitting there. You don't have a person. So it's a little hybrid of both. Mm-hmm. I lean definitely towards the delegation, but when somebody brings me stuff to look at, if I have to delegate it to you, that means I want a response back.
Exactly.
I need a response back.
Yeah.
And we're going to go through it. And that's kind of the best way to go about that. So that was
number 4.
3,
but we have
that's all 4 of them, right?
We have a bonus number 5.
Yeah.
We have a bonus number 5 that I wasn't going to share, but we have a comment here that I think really brings up this bonus number 5, and this is
it Wes suck?
No, we all know that I suck. This is actually from Cohen Leniertz. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name, but this is relationship manager here. This says. Are you having troubles in your relationship or marriage, or a partner just broke up with you? Here's a solution for you getting him or her back and make him or her to love you forever. Contact Dr. Ben. Contact Dr. Ben, spell Temple, via email. Okay. So the email, in case you're curious, is Dr. Ben Solution Home 0 @gmail.com or WhatsApp. And you will get your ex-partner back forever within 24 hours. So look, there's a business idea for you right there. I mean, Dr. Ben, I'm not sure what Cohen Leniert's relationship with Dr. Ben is, but clearly Dr. Ben has this put together. I would call him right away.
The hell are you talking about?
It's a comment. We got it for this video on Facebook.
Where did this come from?
It's on Facebook.
Oh, it's on ours?
It's on our Facebook. I just put it on the screen. You're not seeing this?
Oh, I see it. I'm still having a hard time believing it. What the heck's a WhatsApp?
WhatsApp? What is WhatsApp? WhatsApp! That's what WhatsApp
please
is. God,
don't let us start that again. Oh, that was such good times. Literally just calling your friend up like, wait, you got to flip the phone open first. What?
Did you actually do that? You weren't one of those people. I have more faith in you than that.
Oh hell! I'm gonna 3 o'clock in the morning when your phone rings.
Mm-mm.
Be ready.
Why do you think I put my phone on? Why do you think I put my phone on Do Not Disturb when I sleep? It's because of you, David. It's because of you. I learned it from you, Dad.
Indeed. I learned it from you. I have this particular set of skills. So
And Noah's still not
we
working,
went
by the
through
way. So
four.
your son is still not working.
Noah's still not working. So oh hell, no, he's literally right there.
Oh.
So he's back. He's back here now. So yeah, he's definitely not working.
No, funny.
Yeah, I mean, an hour of not making pizza, you kind of got to say, all right. Yeah, you know what? When you get that idiot to say, all right, I've had to do this before, but I'm going to send you home early, effective immediately.
Look, last time I did this, I cried. But Noah, go home.
Yes, go home. Oh, I'm surprised he didn't have like a cut onion on the table there to help him tear up.
Oh man, so if anybody's coming in late, we're talking about the CEO of Better.com, who fired 900 people on a Zoom call. What a wonderful human being this guy is.
Yeah, and we all understand that. Companies get bigger, they get smaller when they hits. You might have to cut off a heck of a limb to save the rest of the tree. I get it. I understand it. It's business. You don't like it.
But there are better ways. Better.com.
There are ways you handle this stuff, and the CEO doing it is not. The CEO should never do it. It is just that there's no reason.
The CEO coming on saying, I feel this, and I do this, and I feel bad about this.
This really pains me. I. Marsha.
Me, I. One, right after he got $25 million cash bonus in 2020, and to whatever number or letter we're on.
Was it $750 million?
The company just received 700
inclusion in the company.
Yes. So look, I mean, it came off as a little bit tone deaf, to say the least. So look, if you need a home mortgage, Better.com might not be my first choice. That's all I gotta say.
Huntington, guaranteed rate, Quicken Loans, Citi, and if failing that, look up the idiot who fired 900 people on Zoom, and on the page we'll actually have a link for places to go get mortgages.
Right. It was CNN Business. Was it CNN Business?
I'm literally going to Google right now. Idiot who fired 900 people on Zoom. Imagine that. Comes right up.
Oh, hilarious. It's true.
I'm gonna look at here real quick. I'm gonna go through a few of these just real quick.
All right.
And see if they have an advertisement on the screen for. Oh, dude, this string is nuts.
Yeah. So while you're looking at that, the reason
this one doesn't have it.
Okay. So the reason he's saying this is because we're looking at CNN Business, the article talking about the 3 executives who resigned immediately after this CEO fired 900 people on Zoom. On this article, Lending Tree is an advertiser, has an ad here. Citibank also.
Yeah. Citibank had an ad as well.
On another one we saw Huntington right here. Level Up.
Yep, Huntington was on one.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Level Up. Huntington Mortgage. Commercial banks. So some of it. I mean, it's literally. I cut 900 people with Zoom. I've been fired 4 times, but it's the most inhumane. Here we go. Yep. This one's got Lending Tree on it as well.
Yeah. Look, they're doing it right. They know how to work.
Good
SEM.
job, Lending Tree.
Lending Tree knows how it works, man. So SEM is a big deal. If you know SEM, search engine marketing, and ad placement, Google AdWords, all this kind of stuff. Look.
Yep.
There is work for you, and if you don't know it, I don't think you have been using Google or in the world lately.
I mean, a lot of people come across a lot of these things, and they don't even understand how much of a business there is behind them.
Oh my gosh!
When you open up your Facebook, I love Facebook, but because that's where we're broadcasting right now. But I have gotten on this habit. I love it. It's demonically pleasurable for me
Demonically.
to go to every one of the ads that pop up and mark it irrelevant. Irrelevant. So Facebook's going, I don't know what to show this guy. Here, look at some kittens, dude. So literally for like the last 4 weeks, every single ad that has popped up for anything, irrelevant. So it's like, oh, you'll no longer see this. You'll no longer see this. And now I can scroll.
Right.
Scroll, and I get all the content I want because it's my friends and family. I want to see what kind of goofy memes they're sharing.
Oh, sure.
That's the whole purpose of Facebook at this point. You know, oh, look at that dog. Oh, the Star Wars meme is on point. Your thoughts dwell on your mother. My thoughts dwell on your mother. You know, those are great memes. So, and I can do that without all the ads on Facebook now because I've sat there for literally like 4 weeks. Irrelevant.
And that's the thing. Look, and you can, once you really get into this, you can tell what platforms are a better place for what ads. And I'll tell you, I would not look, Mark Zuckerberg. I know you watch our show, and I'm sorry to have to say this, but I would not sink my money into Facebook ads to save my business's life. Facebook ads are a cesspool, and I can't tell you how much garbage clickbait I see on Facebook. I mean, we could do a whole show just on garbage Facebook clickbait. It's nuts.
Oh, it's brutal. Yeah, and those, I put them as well. I'll literally go on and click it on because there's the little hamburger up the top, or the 3 dots. Click, irrelevant, click, irrelevant, click, irrelevant, click, and it just go.
Yeah.
Come out. 25 reasons you should click irrelevant. So now I'm getting really good Facebook material because I'm getting only the stuff I want and none of the garbage.
Well, David, now look, your date. Don't you know your date is being sold to brokers about what kind of ads you like?
There's 27 data points being collected. I saw it on Facebook.
It must be true.
It must be true. So I think that's about it. We're about 1 hour and 10 in here.
Yep.
So thank you guys all for joining us. We're going to be popping out a couple videos, probably a little bit from me by myself, just as a reminder over the next week. Anybody who can, get out to Boston.
Oh, if you're in the New England area,
before we close, I want to look up what happens if we just go ahead and use their music anyway, shipping up to Boston. Because I can't get these guys to return my phone call for nothing.
Well, you know, a tiny little know-nothing band like them, look. So if we play their video, if we play their audio on a live stream, chances are the algorithm will pick it up almost immediately and cut us off.
Okay, so we can't do it anyway.
No.
Crud. I was gonna be like, all right, if it just means we can't monetize that thing, well, we're not monetizing any of these, so
nope.
Let's just freaking do it.
Nope, can't do it. The algorithm will pick us up almost immediately, especially for a high-profile song like that. Can't do it.
All righty then. Well,
we could do an acoustic version. If you wanted to play get your guitar out and do the thing, we could do that.
Yeah, it won't sound anything like it at all.
It wouldn't if I tried. That's true.
Yeah, so that's it. So next week we're going to be in Boston at the Green Dragon.
Yes.
Get your asses up and go.
So it won't be Wednesday, it'll be Thursday. Next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern on Facebook and YouTube. We'll be live at the Green Dragon in Boston. At the place where they planned the Boston Tea Party on the anniversary of the Boston Tea Party.
Yes.
It's going to be amazing. I still can't believe we're going to be there.
It's going to be great. We have a special guest from the Boston Tea Party Ships and Museum. They actually have a thing where you can go and actually throw tea in the harbor. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I might do that. I might have to do that.
Are we going to have to take some?
It's been a great time. So we got Josiah.
Yeah.
We got Josiah from over there who's going to take time out of their event they're hosting because it's a big night for them too.
Yeah.
to come on. He's going to be remote. He won't be out there on the set with us, but he'll be remote, answering some questions, talking to us about their business and what they're doing over there and the heritage and the protecting of the history that is. So join in. If you can't be there live, definitely, and most importantly, every promotional video, everything we sent out this week, please share it, hit the like button,
Yes.
share it, save it, send it on, put it in Messenger, send it to everybody you get it to. Let's see what we can do about getting a great crowd out there for two people. The Green Dragon owners and management and the wait staff and the bartenders and everybody's going to be there, and the people from the museum, because both of them are going to make the night a pretty special night for us. So
yeah, it's going to be awesome.
If you can, get out there with us. If not, definitely join in and help us out everywhere you can.
All right, with that, look, we will give you more updates as they come. But next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern on Facebook and YouTube, we will see you in Boston.
What the hell? What the hell?
I didn't say it.
And we're back.
In the meantime, I've been West. This guy's been David. We'll see you next time.
Basically infatuated with the in-between, the ups and downs, the curves and the rounds. I bring it to your city or your hometown. I go back in time when the feeling was fine, when funkin' was legal and it wasn't a crime. Party people lined up and down the way, a bigger celebration than your birthday. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. And I have seen the world pristine, funk you up in the bushes, funk you down in the trees. Now look around, all the frowns, the yellow, the white, the red and the brown. And keep in mind, it never costs a dime, 'cause funkin' is free, I remember the time. Now look today, the streets are gray, time to take it back to yesterday. Funkin' in the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funk was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funk was good. It was good in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood.